Yes, come in.
A copy of the latest report from the Cockcroft Estate Community Consultative Committee.
Oh, good. Anything I should be aware of?
There's a chapter and a graph showing our lack of ability in responding to the increased crime rate, sir. Apart from that, it's the usual.
Paul Foster calling for increased accountability?
I believe the chapter heading this time is Consultation and Cooperations.
Okay, I'll get it.
Hello.
Bob, thanks for coming. Come in. Come in. I didn't tell him you were coming, or he'd have stayed away for his lunch. Typical student, always on the scrounge. You off duty? Do you want a beer or something?
No, I'm all right, thanks. I've got to get to work.
Right. Well, it's like I said. He's an awkward little so-and-so who doesn't take a blind bit of notice of anything I tell him. I'm sure he'll listen to you, though. After all, you're the expert.
Oh, I don't know about expert. Well, I'll have a word with him, show him the leaflets.
You haven't met James before, have you?
No, I haven't.
Prepare yourself. James, I've brought someone to see you. If you could stop stuffing yourself for 5 seconds.
What?
This is Sergeant Cryer. He's come to have a word with you.
Hello, James.
Yes, Marion. Okay, thank you, Marion. Yes, you better put him through. Hello, Mr. Foster. Chief Inspector Conway here. Yes, I did get your report. Thank you very much. I haven't read it from cover to cover yet, no, but I am actually looking at it even as we speak.
Have you thought about going to prison?
No, I haven't actually. I prefer Jamaica myself.
Well, you get into stealing money to support your habits and you won't get anywhere except prison. And you know what I'm talking about.
No?
Your father told me. 80 quid doesn't just go missing out of a wallet.
That was months ago. And I ain't the only one who lived in this house. So why blame me? Excuse me. If I don't get back to college, I'll have my mum breathing down my neck as well.
Well, don't bother clearing up, will you? See what I mean?
Yeah, cheers.
But the thing is, Bob, it's not only us that's affected.
Oh?
No, I've spoken to quite a few people in the neighbourhood. I know 3 families in this road who suspect their kids are smoking dope. And you know why, don't you? It's that lot. They pollute our neighbourhood.
You can't just blame one section of the community.
Well, that's where they get their drugs from, isn't it?
I don't know, is it?
You know as well as I do, the hanging judge, the pub over the back there, is an open shop.
Have you got evidence that they're dealing drugs over there?
Come off it, Bob. It's also common knowledge that you lot do nothing about it because you're frightened of kicking up a stink with the Cockcroft Committee.
Not at all.
You're in cahoots with them, though? Not to stir things up?
We cooperate with them the same as we cooperate with you.
Well, we all know about the Cockcroft estate.
Know what exactly?
You don't have to pretend with me, Bob. They've got police immunity, haven't they? It's a no-go area.
I presume you advised him that no such expression exists in police vocabulary?
Yes, but he doesn't believe me. He thinks the Cockcroft Committee have got us in their pocket and that his son and other local teenagers are being supplied with drugs from the Hanging Judge pub and that we're turning a blind eye.
Has he offered anything to substantiate the claim?
No, not really.
Well, what's the point then, Bob? I've got 101 things to do.
Well, I think we should go and have a look round the pub.
This man, Cook, what's his name?
Jeff Cole, he runs the neighbourhood watch on 6 Beat.
Well, what does he propose we do? Close it down and get involved in a riot? No, I'm sorry, Bob. I'm not going to play piggy in the middle between the Cockcroft estate and the neighbourhood watch.
Well, I think the least we could do is send a couple of PCs in plain clothes to have a sniff round.
And what if they're spotted?
Well, if there's any dealers in there, they'll know we got our eye on them. It works both ways.
And then I'll have the local community leader breathing down my neck accusing us of spying.
Right, so what do we tell Jeff Cole? That he's right, that we haven't got the bottle? That the Cockcroft estate is a no-go area?
I don't believe we'll do much damage with a discreet visit by a couple of officers in plain clothes.
Lager, George.
Yeah, all right then, Barry. Yeah.
2 pints of lager, please.
Fancy chancing your arm then, pal?
Yeah, why not?
Lucky sunshine.
George.
So what you do then, George?
Me, I don't do nothing, Dave. How about yourself?
I rob people. Nah, I'm a plumber.
So, I've been thinking, they've been in there over an hour now.
Yes, Reg.
Well, you don't think they've succumbed to temptation, you know, got involved in a session?
Fancy a drink, Jim? Okay.
Yeah, Sammy, mate.
How about you, bud?
What's a lager,
Tony, 2 lagers, please, mate. Fancy a drink, George?
No, you're all right, thanks, Dave.
Come on, mate, what's your poison?
No, you're all right, serious. Tell the truth, I'm a bit more into smoke these days, do you know what I mean? Damn again.
Do you want to score?
Reg. I don't believe it.
You, Jim?
Might be.
Dave and Cole said you might be able to get some gear.
How much do you want?
Depends what it is.
Black. It's the stuff, man.
Yeah? Well, look, I've got the cash. I'll take as much as I can lay my hands on.
I'll get you 1.5 ounces. 160 quid. You won't find a better deal, man.
150.
That's your cash.
Yeah, well, it's in my wallet in the bar.
You always leave your money lying around in bars, do you? Or what do you think I am, thick or something?
You're right, Jim.
Shall I call for assistance, Sud?
No, hang on a sec, Reg. Don't want to start an incident.
What's happening, Jim?
Seems like they don't want to pay.
Look, I've told you, the money's inside. My mate Barry's got it.
That's all right then, ain't it? What's he owe you, Jim?
150.
I didn't say that I was definitely going to buy.
You're out of order.
You got 150 nicker on you, have you, Baz?
No, well...
Well, someone's got to pay.
Right, here's it, Reg. Sierra Oscar from Sierra Oscar 3. You're receiving...
Go ahead.
Urgent assistance required at the hanging Judge Pub. We're police officers.
You what?
Oh, slags, I don't believe it.
I was you, I'd Scarper. Go on, then.
Go on, move it.
Right, lads.
Yes, Sarge. We've got possession with intent to supply. I was just about to arrest him. And this is Black, if I'm not mistaken.
Yours, I believe, James.
I've never seen it before in my life.
Sierra Oscar from 181, ETA 2 minutes.
Received.
Is that the hanging judge?
Yes, sir.
So that's the van, the area car, and the TSG. So much for a discreet visit by a couple of officers in plain clothes. I'm going down there.
This is turning into a right bum fight.
You fed me up!
Yeah.
You've been stitched off!
Just make way for it.
Right, in you get, mate. Go on.
Watch yourself, Dan.
Sit tight and I'll find out what the position is.
So there, okay?
Excuse me, everyone. What's the position, Bob?
Well, George and Barry have arrested James Cole for carrying drugs, and their locals haven't taken it too nicely.
Any violence or damage?
No, not really, just a bit of verbal.
Right. All right, everyone, that's it. There's nothing more to see. Can you go back to your homes or back to your pints now, please? Thank you.
All right, we'll clear out there. Come on, Marie, I'll go with you.
All right.
We're back. We're back. Cardale.
Seems there's no serious public disorder, so we're moving out before we exacerbate the situation.
Can you stand back, please? Don't want to drive over your toes.
So how many arrests?
Just one, sir.
One. I've already had a call from the pub landlord. Says his customers are complaining about us overreacting. Was it really worth it, Andrew?
We arrested a supplier. That was the object of the exercise.
As the seconds tick by, I await a call from our Mr. Foster, community leader. I just hope Jeff Cole and his neighbourhood friends appreciate our efforts.
I rather doubt that, sir. The supplier we arrested, it's Jeff Cole's son.
We all need to fit people up. We do it every day.
What possible motive would we have to plant drugs on you? Frankly, James, if you weren't so selfish, you'd be much more concerned at the moment about the effect this is going to have on your mum and dad.
What's my mother got to do with it?
Because in a moment, when we're ready, we're going over to search your house. Just sit down! We are going to search your house to see if you've got anything else stashed away. Now, I'm sure if we find anything, you're going to tell the magistrate that we planted it. But then that's your prerogative.
You can't turn the house over. It's not my house.
It doesn't matter. It's where you live. And when people don't cooperate with us, then we don't know where to look. Now, it could be that the drugs are stashed underneath your mother's mattress, in your sister's wardrobe, underneath the front room carpet, for all we know. That doesn't matter to you, does it? Matthew?
No, wait. What if I tell you?
Well, it's up to you, James.
My mum. I don't want her upset.
Well, of course, if you cooperate, it's going to make it a lot easier for everyone, isn't it?
Go on, have to get some.
You got a key?
Dad?
Oh, you're back then?
Father Jim is an ex-serviceman. He met and married Eileen when...
Bob, come in! Nice of you to drop round. I don't believe you've met my wife. Julia, this is Bob Cryer.
Pleased to meet you.
Tea, coffee, drink, you on duty or off?
Not a social visit, Jeff.
Come to search the house.
Come again?
Earlier this evening, James was arrested.
What for?
Drugs.
How can he have been arrested for drugs? I told you about it.
He is under arrest for being in possession with intent to supply.
Where?
At the hanging judge.
Oh, James.
Have you gone off your rocker? I told you about the hanging judge. I was the one who gave you the tip-off. It was my information, remember?
I'm sorry, Jeff, but we're going to have to search the house.
You've got to be joking.
I've got 3 officers waiting in the hall.
Well, they can damn well clear off for a start. And you.
Jeff, listen to him. You can't stop them.
I'm sorry. He just
Evening.
Get out of the house.
Jeff, come on, you don't want your neighbours, don't you?
Get out of the pocket.
Dad, will you just listen?
Just keep your mouth shut. Don't say anything. Let go of me. Where's your search warrant?
Under Section 18 of the Police and Criminal Evidence Act, we don't need one.
I'm phoning my solicitor.
It is a notice of power and rights. It explains the rights that we have to search your house.
It's like communist bloody China.
Dad, there's no point. I've been caught and that's it. Let's just get it over with.
Keep it shut, eh?
Sorry for the inconvenience, Mrs. Cole. James?
Don't you dare. Look, I'm warning you. This is my house.
Okay. Yeah. Not bad, then. Don't take many chances, do you, son, eh?
He's a very nosy bloke, my dad. That's just my own smoke.
Yeah.
Just these items, is it? Nothing else in the house connected with drugs at all? And what about profits? Because we have the right to confiscate anything that we believe to be connected with drug dealing.
Oh, I don't know. I don't really make a lot.
You must have made some money. What about this? It's quite expensive. Not that old.
2 stereos?
Not working.
Nah, it's...
Got anything else tucked away?
There's nothing else. Honest, that's it. Just my clothes and that's all. There's nothing else in the house that's anything to do with me. Honest.
Go ahead. We're leaving now.
Just a sec. I'm putting in a complaint about you.
Yes?
Oh, you bet. That's so-called evidence you're taking away there. You can't prove diddly squat with that. I gave him that money for clothes. As for the rest, it isn't a crime to keep a set of scales and a craft knife.
Depends what you're going to do with them.
What I told you earlier today, you exploited me.
Let's get this straight. You told me you had a problem. I helped you try to sort it out. Now, do not turn this into a personal vendetta. I was trying to help you.
Oh, you're joking, aren't you? You've heard of Richard Lee Ward, have you? He's my solicitor, my family solicitor, and he's a personal friend. And he says you lot could have entrapped James into this. Egged him on until he was up to his neck in it.
My officers didn't try to entrap your son. They didn't even know who James was. They caught him, red-handed, dealing drugs.
Mr. Foster, to what do we owe the pleasure?
I think we can cut all the sycophantic claptrap, don't you?
Right.
I hear that the police have taken out a pub on the edge of the estate.
I presume you're referring to the arrest of a person at the hanging judge.
Yeah, one person. Talk about using a sledgehammer to crack a nut. And in the next breath, you'll be wanting involvement in the community, sector policing and all that guff. I mean, you can't have it both ways.
No.
Evening. I'm Richard Lee Ward. I believe you're holding my client, Mr. James Cole, in custody.
Oh, Mr. Lee Ward, I'm expecting you. That's OK, I'll do it.
Thanks.
Come through. I'm Sergeant Cryer.
Oh, you're Cryer, are you?
We had reasonable grounds to believe that controlled drugs were being supplied at the Hanging Judge public house. A plainclothes officer who was on the premises this evening was offered what we believe to be approximately 1.5 ounces of cannabis resin. The suspect was arrested and detained.
Yeah, well, that is a very textbook statement, but why was one of your officers slumming it in the Hanging Judge? Hardly the sort of place police officers choose to have a drink.
We were acting on information that drugs were being supplied there. 2 officers went in to establish whether or not this information was correct.
Where did this information come from, I wonder?
I can hardly divulge my source.
Well, it didn't come from the estate, I bet. The trouble is that a lot of busybodies who probably haven't been on the Copperoft estate, yet alone lived there, keep going around spreading all these rumours about us.
On this occasion, the information was well-founded.
I've spoken to people who were down there. According to them, there's about 10 police vehicles on the scene.
6.
All right, 6. Probably about 20 officers. All to arrest one young lad who happened to have an ounce of dope on him. If that isn't heavy-handed policing, then I'm John Major.
I was advised you gave no reason for the search and didn't have a warrant.
Thank you, Matt. I issued Mr. Cole with a notice of powers and rights under Section 18.
I see.
And as for the entrapment, I suggest you speak to your client.
I certainly intended. James?
If I told you someone from the other side of the street was smoking hashish, would you go crashing through their French windows and arrest them? Not likely, because people from the other side are treated totally different from us. So why is there this prejudice?
The person who was arrested tonight does come from the other side of the street, as you put it. So where's the prejudice in that?
OK, at 8:30 this evening, whereabouts at the Hanging Judge were you?
I was outside on the corner of the pub.
And why did you go out there?
I was told someone was waiting for me there.
Are you usually summoned to meetings on the corner of that pub?
I would advise you not to answer that question.
OK. So you went outside to meet someone on the corner. What was the purpose of that meeting?
I advise you not to answer.
James, do you wish to answer?
No.
So you went out to meet someone on the corner. Was there anyone there?
Yeah, him.
PC Garfield?
Yeah.
And what happened then?
I think he asked me where he could buy some drugs.
And you understood that to mean controlled drugs? Illegal drugs?
Well, yeah.
Go on.
I think I asked him what sort of drugs he wanted and how much he wanted to buy. He said he had 150 quid, and I told him there's 1.5 ounces of black. I took the bag out of my pocket.
I advise you not to continue answering this question.
Look, what I want to do is get this whole thing over with. I don't want to play this game anymore. This has nothing to do with me. It's just a big show put on by you for the benefit of my dad. I don't know what my mum's going to say about all this. I just want to get everything sorted.
I think it would be advisable if we had the interview suspended and had a talk.
What do you think?
Who, me? Oh, I'm not here to advise you, James. That's what your solicitor's for.
He came round to my dad's house today to give me advice. What if I just tell you everything I've done?
I would advise strongly against it.
Would it do me any good?
Well, without being specific to your case, when people cooperate with us, generally it is reported in the notes of the CPS, and usually it's looked upon favourably by the courts.
I'll go with that.
There you go.
Thanks.
Yes, I can help you.
I'd like to see a senior officer.
Well, the duty inspector's not here at the moment. Sergeant Cryer's out on
No,
release.
I most certainly don't want to see Cryer. I said senior officer. I'd like to see the chief inspector.
Can I ask what it's about?
Yeah. Police corruption.
I stole the 80 quid from his wallet to buy my first batch. I knew he'd noticed it gone, but I thought, what the hell?
So you stole the money to set up a drug dealing business?
I was skin. I'd already got to pay for some new shoes. You know what he gave me? A lecture on how hard he's worked to get where he is today. I work hard, I study hard, but I can't live off fresh air alone, you know what I mean? So I'll buy 2 or 3 ounces of blue, sell it off in 8s. It's a damn sight better than crawling to him every time I need some cash.
All I ask, Chief Inspector, is even-handed treatment for the estate. After all, you have neighbourhood watch schemes. Isn't that all about taking responsibility for one's own community? But when we want to take responsibilities...
I don't think that's a fair comparison.
Oh, because we're not responsible citizens and they are. It's double standards. You can't stand there and tell me that the police aren't prejudiced.
You bring me a specific case of prejudice and I give you my assurance I'll investigate it.
Well, this is what you say. But we're told that it's our police service. But at the end of the day, you're not really accountable to anyone, except yourselves. And that is the trouble. You are not accountable.
That's all the property.
Did he give you any trouble?
Nah. Easiest confession I've ever heard. Even volunteered the name of his supplier. Tell you what, if every case was like this, I'll offer be a dollar.
Yeah.
Is the Chief Inspector free yet?
Not yet, no.
Thanks. Richard, what the hell's going on?
He's made a full statement.
You did advise him, though, did you?
I'm afraid my advice was considered irrelevant.
You're for the high jump, mister.
Yeah?
I'm here to see your Chief Inspector about you. You entrapped that lad. Didn't dare nick any of the yobbos off the estate, did you? This lot, them off the estate, they're like peas in a pod. You are corrupt, and I'm going to prove it.
Well, that's up to you.
You're damned right. And I think we can take my son's statement with a pinch of salt. Presumably that was screwed out of him.
Jeff, your son made a confession.
Well, of course he did, with a size 10 boot aimed at his head.
You're entitled to make a formal complaint, but I'm going to have to ask you to moderate your behaviour.
If you just calm down for a minute. James made a complete confession of his own free will. I tried to advise him, but he decided, and I mean he decided, to say what he did. Sergeant Cryer put no pressure on him. Nobody used thumbscrews or irons. James decided.
But why?
Ask him. He had his reasons.
You could have got him off. I thought you had things under control.
Sorry, Jeff. I'll waive my fee.
I thought we were friends.
Sergeant Cryer.
I don't need him. I'll use someone else or 2 a penny.
I'm sure you will.
Mr. Cole, I'm Chief Inspector Conway. You wanted to see me?
Jeff Cole. I believe you're the man who can sort out complaints around here.